Hello again, I'm Tim. I am an energy practitioner and spiritual intuitive. I'm a guide, a coach, and I'm here, I know specifically, to help others raise their consciousness, become awakened and more aware. And by doing that and helping people ground and doing that myself, that we are lightening the density of the planet and in ourselves, and we're bringing about the change from the 3D into the 5D realm. So I'm excited that I've been called to this purpose. I don't think there could be anything higher or better for me. I'm excited, and I'm finally doing this after many, many years of ignoring this call, and now I am doing it, and I hope you find some benefit from it. So these are all clips about my story, my life, my journey, my spiritual growth, and experiences, occasions that I have had, and I'm sharing to just bring it out there. And I want everybody to share themselves as well of what they've gone through, because you're not alone. There's a lot of us out there, and I always thought I was crazy and weird, but I'm not. And we're special. We are called, and we are light workers. So glad to have you join the team. Glad to be part of your team. So this segment of the story is going to be a bit more again on my deathometer, which I get a sense about death happening, not happening, and I can't explain it. It's just I have this feeling. So one occasion was during my second marriage, and some very dear friends, really, of my ex-wife, which I was friends with too. Of course, we socialized together. They had come over for dinner, and I think they had asked, like, call and say, "Hey, can we come over for dinner?" And so, of course, Lisa said yes, and had them over. And so his side of his face had been growing for a long time, and it was just this big bulge, and none of us really knew what was going on, and it kind of came on fast. So anyway, he came over and said that he's got stage 4 throat cancer and would be going into treatment, and just was making the rounds because they were going to keep a very low profile from that point forward. And it was kind of strange, really, because I took it very lightly and just smiled. I'm like, "You're not going to die, so not from this. So you're fine. My deathometer isn't going off, and it's completely saying to me that you're fine, and you're going to beat this, and it's not an issue." And they're like, "Wow, we hope you're right." Well, I just saw him this weekend at my oldest daughter's engagement party, and that's been 6-8 years already. So he's still around. He's doing great, and he beat it. Another one of those deathometer pieces was with my girlfriend's father, who actually passed just a few weeks ago. And it was about 2 years ago. And I don't know what it was, but we were around her parents, and later just said, I don't know why, I just have this feeling he's going to die less than 2 years. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know why I'm having this feeling. So in subsequent get-togethers with just her mom and dad, I started to ask more questions, and I wanted to find out, where was this coming from? Was there any legitimacy to it? And I question, right? And I think that's the human side of what is this, and is it real? But so her mom said, well, because he had cancer. I knew he had a cancer, or 2 cancers or something. And so just said, so I know he had cancer, but is anything new going on? And she's like, yeah, actually he has a new cancer, and he's going to go into a whole new line of treatments. But when she said that, it was like, that's it. I know it. I just felt it in my heart 100% that was going to be the last straw on what his body could take. So it was, about 2 years later, and Actually, my daughter just had her first little engagement party just for the parents and siblings. And um, from there, I went out to Sarah's parents' house because her mom had taken him into the hospital that morning because he was having very abnormal leg pains. So I don't know if they text Sarah, but anyway, saying that, hey, they're going to be sending him home. So I said, well, I'll go to the house and wait. So I ended up doing laundry and picking up and whatever else I could do to help. Sarah went to the hospital to help drive a car or something along that line. And the mom had a car there too. So anyway, we ended up all converging at the house, and eventually the ambulance came because they took him to the hospital. They had to bring him back from the hospital. And the EMT, the lead one, did not want to release him. His heart pressure had been going down. His oxygen level was very low and going down. And he's like, I can't in good faith release him. He could certainly die. And I want to take him back to the hospital. So then the mom came and we were all talking about it, and then asked him, what do you want to do? You might die. This could be it. And do you want to go back to the hospital or do you want to go inside? He's like, I want to go inside. So we ended up getting him inside and on a chair for that time being. They didn't have a hospice bed or anything, but it was very much apparent that he was not well. And I said to Sarah, I'm like, I don't know that he's going to make it through the night, but I know he's not going to make it a week to next Sunday, which was Father's Day. He's not going to make it. So I was going to stay up overnight and be the med giver. They, now had prescribed he could start getting meds every 4 hours to subdue the pain and help him rest and ease into the transition of his soul departing the body and going back up to source. But Sarah said, no, it's my dad, so I'll do it. And then I had gotten word my mom had fallen, and she had been down for the engagement celebration, and they got home and fell and broke her femur in 2 places and was going to have emergency surgery in the morning. So I stayed overnight and said my farewells Monday, and then headed up to my mom's to help and be the communication person between the hospital and doctors and everybody back to my 5 siblings. So that was my role. But two other cases of my deathometer being accurate and just being open to be used by the Spirit of the divine and help others, help them prepare. And even with that, with my girlfriend's dad, for those 2 years, I was also prompting talks about, what does Chuck want? What does he want for a funeral? Does he want to be cremated or buried? Where does he want to be buried? And none of that had happened. So I really was a catalyst for that. I would even call the oldest brother, who was supposed to be in charge and would be financially responsible, blah, 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 the affairs. Wasn't involved, so I reached out and I got him involved. And fun, interesting, happily, a week prior, the Friday prior, I really was kind of insistent with my girlfriend, let's go to dinner with your parents. I think it would be really good for you to spend time with your dad. And so we did, and actually she later thanked me for encouraging that, because it was really the final time she was with him, and he was himself. So I'm blessed to be used by the divine, and I hope you are too. And if you feel called for things, I really would like to help you find that and develop it. So peace, blessings, and love. Bye-bye for now.